Good morning, Bande Matram. Welcome all of you. So we are going to discuss a beautiful topic, almost a marvelous topic, that is the day bringer. So interestingly, we all are on the way towards perfection. So knowingly or unknowingly, in the path of evolution, we are proceeding towards our final goal. There is always a fire at the apex. So it is burning. The thing is that a crown is reserved for everybody on the apex. So he has to cross. That is his destiny. There he has to reach. Problem is that he is not aware. Most of the people in the ordinary consciousness, they are staying, they don't know what exactly happening around the world, what is their destiny, what is their goal, what is their fate, what is the aim or objective. They are least aware. They don't know exactly what is the meaning of their life. So ordinarily they feel it is a pleasure to go for this family, amazing money, and leading a comfortable life. That is what the goal they have already. From the age-old story, they keep listening, and they are just pushing away through that track only. Nothing changed, no, nothing, only mechanical things keep changing in their life mechanically, almost mechanically. But thing is that some people are there, they are little bit conscious, they are little bit aware. So they are questing the way so that they can reach the apex at a very short time, very short period of time. And sometimes their own effort is very insufficient. So they are taking help of the gurus and all the sadhus or people who are on the faster track, who are staying on the top. They are actually helping the world by their world indifference. Whatever they are, the predicted knowledge they have counted and they have gained with this knowledge, they are actually distributing among the seekers of the upward path. Anyway, it is not sufficient anyway. So for that, the day bringer is coming. Most of the time we are taking them like avatar, like a god, like in many disciplines, many religion, many sect, many moralism, we are taking in different names throughout. Anyway, this is the fact. Actually they have come, the day bringer. Day bringer, when we are talking, the bringer is who brings his bringer. The thing is that a day, capital D. The day bringer means that is there is almost night. Almost night, there is certainly night, only night, darkness, greyness, deepest darkness, it is there. So it is to eradicate the dense darkness and to bring there the dazzling light. That is the little bit of hope is there. So people are proceeding in that track. Yogic path is chosen the best track for us because it is helpful, and it will shortcut the entire process, because nobody knows in the ordinary process of evolution how long someone has to go, even how many births, even how many centuries, nobody knows how it is actually embracing. So the day bringer, he has to come to bring the day, capital D, this day. So there is the only hope. The day bringer can come. For that he has to pass into the darkest night. Night is the darkest. There is grayness, there is helplessness, there is fear, there is agony, there is everything is odd, everything is in negatory. So the man, the day bringer who will bring, so he has to tear the breast of the strangling darkness, the deepest darkness. He has to tear it. Maybe he has to find the path difficult, still then he has to try, he has to go. That is the only way he has to go. For that he has to make a divine great sacrifice, that is called supreme sacrifice or divine sacrifice for them. So we'll discuss from Sri Aurobindo Savitri on the role of the task of the day bringer in the wordings in the light of Sri Aurobindo's philosophy and his own wording from, of course, Savitri. Here in the course here, all things obscure his knowledge must relume. Here, whatever, because this day bringer is there, all things obscure. It can not fully clearly, visibly clear. All things obscure his knowledge must illume. Obscure, grey, dark, his knowledge will illume. All things perverse, his power we must honor. It is noted, perverse. So his power must honor, that is for that only he has come. He has come with that mission, the great mission he is carrying in his breast, that seal is there on his breast, to bring the light and to honor the things that are perverse. So he must pass through to the other shore of falsehood sea. Before him there is the sea. Sea means which sea? Not the Indian Ocean or ordinary China Sea or something like this. What visibly we have seen, we have designed. It is designed before us. He must pass to the other shore of falsehood sea. The sea is packed with falsehood. Just imagine falsehood, sea like falsehood. Falsehood sea, it is there in between, so he has to pass there. He must enter the world dark to and bring there the light. Again, the deep day bringer, the term we have used on which we are basing our topic on the day bringer. So he must enter the world's dark. Initially, it was the falsehood sea. World's dark to bring the light. It is totally darkness. Into the darkness, he has to bring the light of that. Without light, man is unable to see, and unable to move, unable to actually predict his fate and future fortune. Simply in the night, he is like confined in a limited sphere of life. If the light is coming, he can see, at least he can think of, and with the light, he can be able to move many steps, and he can be able, at least with his strength and enthu will develop in him. The heart of Abel must be bare to his eyes. For that light is required. The heart of the Abel must be bare to his eyes. If it is not seen, how can he be able to know? How can he able to cure it? How can he able to bring the freedom and the light to the entire world? For that only he has come. The heart of a Abel must be bare to his. He will first see. He will first tear. He will first get into. Then something can be done for the other people. He must learn its cosmic dark necessity. Again, dark, because they bring her cosmic dark necessity. He must know, he must learn. That is what it is there. Its right and its dire roots in nature's soil. Dire and the right. No, its right and its dire roots in nature's soil. Nature's soil, the falsehood, dark necessity, the evil, its roots are actually like it is gone very deep into the dire in the nature soil. He must know the thought that moves the demon act. He must know the thought. If he is not knowing, if he is not thinking, if he is not, how can he get the power? How can he will be helpful to the entire human race at a whole? And justifies the Titans' erring pride and the falsehood lurking in earth's crooked streams. Art's dreams and they are crooked. And their lurking thing is falsehood, darkness, grayness. So these are the things entirely it has occupied the world with which the man is actually bounded, limited. He is suffering. Nobody is there to help him. He has no sufficient strength to arise out of. He can't be able to free himself out of this bondage, out of this girl. He must enter the eternity of night and know God's darkness as he knows his sun. So, sun and darkness, absence of the sun, absence of the light, there is darkness. So, this day bringer, he must enter the eternity of night. Night, capital N, that is eternity of night. It was existing, it is existing, and it has to exist if not where we are. So he must and know God's darkness as he knows his sun. God's sun he knows because he has come from the upper hemisphere. With the upper hemisphere, perhaps everything was light, everything was love, everything was truth, everything was energetic. But here is totally different. Falsehood, error, grayness, darkness, everything is there. Death, so suffering, it is there in the lower hemisphere. For this, he must go down into the pit. Into the pit, he has falsehood sea. He has to cross. Like this, he must go down into the pit. For this, he must invent the dolorous vast. So vast he has to cross. That is the why it is happening. I can one example is there. I can remember somebody came to a guru, one sadhu, one guru. That was a great name. This guru's name and fame was there all around. But actually, he was very choosy. Somebody, one intelligent man, boy, of course, a young man, he came there and decided to accept the discipleness and to become a disciple of the Guru. And the Guru looked at him, okay, I will agree with you, I will accept, but my condition is that if you ask any question on my experiment, what I say, if you make any objection, then your teaching, your learning will be ceased there. Okay, he agreed. Then immediately Guru advises you just change your dress, put on my dress, whatever is there. You go for alms. Yes, I am ready. The young man said. But immediately before going, this Guru is offering a packet of sweets. You go. This city is packed with people who will throw stones at you. If somebody is throwing stones, just do one thing. You just give this sweet packet to him. That's what you can do. Okay, I will do. This young man went away, and in the evening he came smilingly. Guru expected something wrong would happen. He will not come because this pelting of stones and all, he will get discouraged. He is an intelligent man. Of course, Guru thought like anything. Anyway, he came smilingly. Then immediately he welcomed, regretted, actually congratulated, and actually expressed his gratitude at the Guru. Guru, but what happened? Because people who have come, that is only one day, 24 hours is, 12 hours is more than enough for them, but you are smiling. Then what happened? He told, this man is speaking, this young man, through you, I got the perfect Guru. Then what is happening? What's new? How do you feel? No, actually, this young man is explaining. I felt you will be teaching me in a traditional way, but your method is some totally different. Number one. Number two, thing is that actually I am intelligent, so I felt you will teach something from the book, but actually you taught me something. You tried to motivate me through your method. Number three, actually, number three is a very intelligent thing. People are throwing stones, and with this pelting of stone, with this throwing of stones, so these people who are coming for to accept you as a guru, they are going back. But somebody came and threw stones at me, and I smiled at him. Then I offered to him that sweet. Then he repented. Then he felt that something he has done maybe something wrong, that is in a big way. So he came, begged excuse, hugged me. So I felt it is changed. So the education, the nature of education is to change. Sa vidya ja vimuktai. So that if your education, that method, that systems, this methodically almost changed the people who were throwing stones. There was something wrong in it. There was something wickedness. He has been changed. So this is the best method. Considering above three, I think you are the right person. You are the right guru. At least bringing light into the bundled into the great darkness. So these are the things he has to do. This is the secret of the Guru. He still must travel, help the world to save. He has to go to the travel. He has to accept the darkness. He has to suffer. He has to cross the falsehood sea. Just imagine in the dangerous darkness, everything he has to find because he is the death bringer he must have experienced. Into the eternal light he shall emerge on borders of the meeting of the all worlds. So he has. These are the things he is doing. Again, here in the quotes very interestingly. The secret law of each thing is fulfilled. All contraries heal their long dissidence. They are meet and clasp the eternal opposites. Their pain becomes a violent fiery joy. So there is a ananda at the end, at the root of everything. So he has to understand because he knows, he is fashioned, he is acquainted. Anyway, Sri Aurobindo again quotes very interesting light. Then then shall be ended here the law of pain. Earth shall be made a home of heaven's light. A sheer heaven born shall lodge in human bliss. If it is done, if he is coming, if he is suffering, if he is bringing light, if he is guiding, then a sheer heaven born shall lodge in human breasts. The superconscient beam shall touch men's eyes. Men's eyes shall be touched by the superconscient beam. And the truth conscious world come down to earth, invading matter with the spirit's ray. There will be the great change. This is the change here in the quoting. Awaking in silence the immortal's thought, awaking the dumb heart to living word. So these are the changes, awakening. It was sleeping, now it will awake. This mortal life shall house eternity's bliss. Now itself is actually in agony, in suffering, in tears. So eternity's bliss shall be housed in the mortal life. Again, the body self-test immortality, then shall the Redeemer's world, Redeemer's task be done. Thank you.